As many of you know, we once a month we take the chance to interview somebody about how faith plays such an active role in their lives. And especially after we've had so much mention of satellites, we will show a few pictures, although this is not the official Sunday of satellites, so there will be a Sunday where much more of that is shown. Liv's going to give us some little snippets from it as well. But as there's quite a lot of people who went to satellites as well here. I can see Ollie and Dan and Robin and others this morning. We're really thinking about how faith connects with the lives of our young people, our children, whether they're here or not, as they go to university. So, Liv, tell us a little bit about yourself, your family. I think some people know your family, some won't, and what you're up to at the moment.
Yeah, hi, so I'm Olivia. I've got my mum and my dad, they've been going for years, and my lovely sister Abby, can't forget about her. I have just finished my first year at Bristol University studying chemistry, which is awesome. I've really, really enjoyed this year. It's been hard, a bit of a wake-up call, but I've had an amazing time. I've joined a really great church. And it's just been amazing being surrounded by so many students that also love Jesus, living with a load of them next year, which is going to be great. Yeah.
And Liv, just tell us, some people who have been at your baptism, just tell us a little bit about coming to faith, actually finding God for yourself, having come to church with, your family, etc., and what that's meant to you, the central part that faith plays in your life.
Yeah, so I've grown up in this church pretty much since I think I was about 5, and I chose to get baptised Easter last year, and just sort of felt that I'd been choosing to come to church because I wanted to come, and really started to find a faith for myself, and really just love getting to know Jesus and the Lord, and really have that personal relationship with him. And so, yeah, got baptised and have just sort of kept that going and really tried to get myself as stuck in as possible with church and stuff at university, which I think is probably one of the best things for me, because it just feels like you've got a piece of home away from home, and the community that you can be surrounded by is amazing. And they do look after students so well and give you that real sense of peace, especially when you start to feel a bit homesick. Mum and dad are like, go to church, which has been great advice. And yes, that's been a real safety net for me, is getting stuck in with my church community in Bristol.
And I know that you give things big and small to God. I think sometimes, I know A-levels were particularly tough. You were expected to get very good grades and not always not always got the support that you needed from the school, etc. Just tell us about some of the ways in which faith turns up, and what things that you've prayed about where you've really seen God move. Maybe pick out a couple of little stories.
Yeah, so obviously chemistry is not a light subject, so I really had to give a lot of that to God, also with knowing that I've made the right decision to do chemistry, because it kind of ended up being process of elimination. I didn't want to study economics and I didn't want to study maths, so I was left with doing chemistry. But I think just trusting in God that I will be heading in the right direction, and that if I'm going to work hard and I can get myself there, he's also got me in that, and that he'll keep opening the doors, because I have no plan past university. I have no idea what I want to do. So just trusting and praying that God will keep opening the doors and sending me in the direction that I should be going in.
And I think one of the ways, as you said from the beginning, and we might show Tristan, if you've got those 2 or 3 images, like I say, we're not going to do the whole kind of satellites thing this morning. It's a little bit of a teaser. You may recognize some of the people above. They may be sitting, quite a lot of them, around this area of the church. Can you just explain what's in this picture?
Yeah, so the last night of satellites, the theme was Disney+, so the leaders went full force as Star Wars characters. Very impressed with the efforts made. So that was great fun. We had a Vader, an anonymous Jedi, a Han Solo, Princess Leia, and 2 Reys, which was epic. We also, obviously there was thousands of young people worshipping the Lord, which is an amazing atmosphere to be in. We did do a slip and slide at one point, which was great. Had a lot of fun with that. And yeah.
I think there's a couple more pictures if you want to flick them along, just to give you a flavour. Just the scale of the worship, and just, I remember from my youth going to things like Spring Harvest and our own kids doing Soul Survivor and this. And I'm just going to ask in a second that we just pray for the young people. I'm actually going to ask you, Liv, both to pray for the people who were there, but also some of the young people who aren't here. I think there's one last image just to give people a flavour of it. I think this is the silent disco. So everybody with their headphones on, bopping around, but you can't hear a thing. So anyway, more to come about that. A few smiles on the front row. Could those people who went to satellites, both kids and some of the leaders, just stand up for a second? There's a lot of you. I'm going to just ask Liv to pray, and thank you for all your service in that and setting up and everything else, but also to pray for our own kids. Some of our kids aren't here this morning. We're just to see more of that faith passed on to the youth in our church and the youth in our community. So Liv, if you don't mind praying.
Yeah, Lord, I really just want to lift all our young people in Bookham, at this church, and in the wider community to you. I pray that you'd really hold them in your hands as they go through such a fundamental time in growing up and figuring out who they want to be and where they want to go with life. And I really pray that they would hold you at the centre of choosing what they do and where they go. And I thank you so much for the team that Bookham has provided in being able to send our young people to these events. And thank you that we're able to just send them in and show them your love, whether that's kids that regularly come to church or just come to Friday Youth, or might even be friends of our young people that come here regularly. Thank you that all those young people have had a chance to get to know you this week. Amen.
Amen. You might want to give her a round of applause.